So I ordered this product from the TikTok shop. It was a dropship product. It looks really, really cool. It has some great reviews. And when I received it, unfortunately, it sucked. And I was very, very upset. I was very disappointed because I'm pretty sure most of you know, but I'm a pretty big nerd. And I wanted to do some pretty cool things with this. Have it in the background, maybe have the ODS logo on it. And I couldn't get it to work. So let me show you really quick. This is what happens when you turn it on. It starts up the grid. And then you're able to literally just put whatever you want on here. You can write through the app whatever text or I guess image you want to put on here because it's all little pixels. It's a grid. This is the app, right? Then it has a little part where you're supposed to connect it. And it says that it's successfully connected. And then you can change whatever text you want. So my issue is whenever I would put something like, let's say what I'm about to put right now, it would just not update. It would stay at whatever it was by default. And you know what? It's actually happening again. It's so frustrating. For some reason, it just does not consistently stay connected. So what I have to do is I have to go ahead and reconnect it, as you saw there. Now you have the little green check mark right there. You can't really see it. And now I can go ahead and change it again. So if I click on text, through here, I can put in whatever I want. And then it should be sending it to this. But it doesn't, because every single time there it is. All right, so now it's sent. A lot of the times what it would do, at least the first time, because now it is working a lot better, what it would do is it would just drop the connection. As you can see right now, it is working pretty well. And if I disconnect it and I reconnect it, it should work because it was kind of working. All right, so yeah, it is still retaining the information that I sent to it earlier. But before, it would just keep reverting back to whatever it was set by default. And again, it would not connect. I would back out of the screen and it would just automatically disconnect. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this is because depending on the niche that you're dropshipping, depending on the types of products that you're dropshipping, you're gonna have to order a sample. Now, this isn't always going to be the case depending on certain types of products or niches, right? You can go ahead and sell things like certain types of dog bowls, dog LED collars, clothing for adults or kids, a few trending items, toys, things like that. You don't really need to order a sample because for the most part, things like that are just going to work. A t-shirt, it's going to fit. Sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller, sometimes a little bit, more fitted. But at the end of the day, with a sizing chart, most people will be fine. But a product like this, an electronic product, these are the types of products that are higher ticket and can actually get you chargebacks if you send something that doesn't work. Now, I don't know if the issue I was having before is because of the type of phone that I had or because of a firmware update that they had or their software just wasn't working at the time. But I did try it on my phone at the time, which was a Google Pixel 6. And I tried it on my wife's phone, which she has an iPhone. And on both phones, it was doing the exact same thing. It was having issues connecting. So my thought right when I received it and I was getting all these issues was, thankfully, I didn't send this to an influencer because otherwise either I would have gotten a negative review or just wasted money sending them the product because it wouldn't have worked. I'm trying to change it right now really fast because I want to get rid of that LOL, but again, it keeps disconnecting. Now, it's not a huge deal, but it does get frustrating, and I can see a customer getting frustrated with it because they're probably going to come back to you or to me and say, why doesn't it just work? Why isn't it automatically connecting? Why is it always dropping the connection? Now, it would be good for something like this if you can test out, like, let's say different variables. So the way that I did it, I tested out on an iPhone and I tested it out on my phone. If some of your friends have different types of phones, different model phones, then you can go ahead and test it out that way as well. Now, another product that can pretty much fall into the same type of category would be things like Bluetooth headphones. Even though for the most part, they are going to be working because Bluetooth headsets at this point, it's a pretty common technology. Most companies get it down right the first time. But again, it's always worth just making sure that you receive a sample and making sure it works. Especially if you have one of those Bluetooth headphones that has a screen that's built into the case or to the charging case of the headsets themselves. Those sometimes can potentially be a little bit wonky. They could be a little bit flimsy. So again, that's another one of those types of products that they're good to test out and make sure that they work. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I did order this product about 4 months ago. And at the time, it was not working at all. Now, as you can see, I did get this product for about $24, $25. And typically speaking, what it's being sold for is about 70 to 80 bucks. So imagine if I had sold this to maybe 3 or 4 people without ordering a sample first. And they all come back to me to tell me, hey, it doesn't work. In total, that would be about $240 that I would have to return to the customers. And I mean, yeah, I can still receive the product back from them and return it to the supplier. But that in itself is already going to be a huge inconvenience, not just for the customers, but for myself. Because I'm not going to get that refund until the suppliers receive that product. And that might be a bit. It might be a few months. It might be a few weeks. Shipping times, especially right now, can take a little bit longer if you are returning products rather than just receiving them. So yeah, I mean, thankfully, again, at least I didn't sell this to any of my customers. And it happened to me before it happened to my customers. So have you ever had an experience like this? Have you ever had a product that you either started dropshipping because you thought it was really good and you didn't order a sample, and then it turns out that the product had a lot of issues when it got to your customer? Or did you order the sample and then you realized it had issues then? Is this something that you've ever come across? Let me know down in the comments below. I want to hear your experience. Now, all of this is not to say that the product itself sucks, right? Because as you can see, the reviews are really good. It has 4.8 stars. Over 2,000 have been sold, 243 reviews. It just turns out that for whatever reason, it didn't really work for me. Or maybe I might have gotten the defective one. Now, I did reach out to the supplier and I got a pretty generic response. And they told me that if I did want to return the product, that I would have to pay the shipping myself. And honestly, that would have ended up coming out to like half the price of the product itself. So I thought I'm just going to keep it at this point. There's really not too much point of me returning it, waiting, 3 or 4 weeks and then receiving all of the money back, which ultimately would equal out to like half of it because, half of it went to shipping. Know the importance of ordering a sample, especially on a higher ticket niche or on a niche that has a lot more sensitive products like electronics. Huge thank you to everyone for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. If you found this video helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, and make sure you ring that little bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. Huge thank you for checking out the video all the way to the end. My name is Mario with Auto DS, and I'll catch you all next time.